Walk me through your top line takeaway from Micron as the shares pushed to a new high this morning.
Thanks, Oliver. Thanks for having me on. So Micron, we continue to like it. I think as you look at the quarter and the guide, we think they'll have a very strong 2021. DRAM is on an inflection up. And so we think that positions them well because DRAM is 70% of their revenues. NAND also should see some stabilization in the back. So memory seems to be on a very strong footing here through 2021. And we see very, very strong upside given low inventory across the supply chain, controlled capacity and supply, and very strong demand from 5G handsets and data center to the back half.
President Sanjay Mehrotra says for the first time in history, Micron is simultaneously leading on DRAM and NAND. What I think is interesting is also the fact that, as you point out here, the memory side is doing well, but Micron's also got ties into some of the hottest secular trends that for a while investors basically expressed through NVIDIA, AMD, Xilinx. We're talking AI, 5G, cloud, stuff like that. It seems right now investors have chosen Micron to express that view to some degree. Or is it the overall economic recovery that Micron likes more? Why has Micron become the hottest chip maker right now?
Yeah, I think they are very well positioned because they are over-indexed to the DRAM side, where you're seeing a much more consolidated market and much better profitability trends than NAND, where there's still a little bit of an oversupply. And so with 70% exposure to DRAM, it makes them, puts them in a much better position. And you're right. We are very exposed to some of the fastest growing markets, from AI to machine learning to 5G handsets to automotive, and even server data centers. So, and they have done a very good job kind of running a tight ship in terms of CapEx, controlling supply, and basically helping drive much better profitable roadmaps on the DRAM side to 1-alpha, and the NAND side, especially now going to 3D NAND at 176 layers. So overall, very solid execution there.
Okay. Can it continue? And it seems like you think it definitely can. What's going to accelerate it and determine the speed at which it continues? For Micron, do we watch the overall economic recovery? Do we need to think about it competitively? Do we need to see them get big deals that push around some of their competition in these hot secular spaces? What's like the best news headline you could see for Micron right now?
I think that's a very good question. I think what's happening here is we still think the guide that they gave was very conservative, because what you're seeing is shortages across the board on the PC side, automotive side, handset mobile side, because the supply chains have still not geared up, and there is very strong demand coming through given some of the constraints with COVID and the labor shortages. The capacity is just not there. So you're seeing as some of those capacity constraints get alleviated, there'll be more upside on the top line going to the back half. At the same time, on the supply side, memory OEMs have not added capacity, and it takes 6 to 9 months for any capacity to come through. So what you're going to see is a very extended period here into 2021, maybe into early 22, where you will have tight supply constraints, very strong demand, as something like auto dealerships, where dealership inventory is down 30% from the beginning of the year, try to catch up to production. And so that will be a very strong tailwind for them.